All right, good evening. We're glad for the good group of people that's joined us this evening for this pre-service representing the ministry of Allegheny Wesleyan College. And we are going to have a time of sharing with you in word and in song. And it's our privilege to have Miss Hardy and Miss Corbin here this evening to help us out. And we're also glad to have Proclaim and Rejoice. They have been traveling abroad, hither and yon, and singing and representing the ministry of AWC, and so we're glad that they've made it safely back to home base here this evening, and we're looking forward to what they have for us tonight. So at this time, we're going to start off asking the Lord's blessing upon our time together, and then Proclaim is coming to minister in song. Brother Matt Russell, would you pray for us, please, this evening? Thank you.
The moment I knelt down upon my knees in prayer was the moment a beggar became a rightful heir. Came to live within this heart of mine, and he filled me with glory divine. And it happened that very moment he saved my soul. My name is recorded in the book of life in heaven. My sins are washed away by the blood of Calvary. Since the day that the blood was applied, forever I stand justified. And it happened that very moment he saved my soul. I'll never get over that grace so rich and free. The more that I live, the more it amazes me. How that just in one moment of time, all the joys of heaven then became mine. And it happened that very moment he saved my soul. My name is recorded in the book of life in heaven. My sins are washed away by the blood of Calvary. Since the day that the blood was applied, forever I stand justified. And it happened that very moment he saved my soul. My name is recorded in the book of life in heaven. My sins are washed away by the blood of Calvary. Since the day that the blood was applied, forever I stand justified. And it happened that very moment. Oh, it happened that very moment. Yes, it happened that very moment he saved my soul. It happened that moment he saved my soul.
Buenas noches. ¿Dónde está Joanna Corbin? Allá. ¿Puedes ayudarme, Joanna?
Sí, sí, sí.
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, un poco calor.
Ay, sí, hace mucho calor, ¿no? Bueno, ¿todo tranquilo?
Sí, todo
Aquí
bien,
en el
gracias a
campamento,
Dios.
sí, en el dormitorio, todo
Sí,
tan tranquilo
todos
ya.
mujeres, ya.
Ah, ya, muy bien, muy bien. ¿Crees que alguien aquí puede entender lo que nos está diciendo?
Quizás algunos, pero no creo.
No muchos, ¿no?
No, no, no.
Entonces podemos compartir todos los chismes,
Sí,
¿no?
sí, sí.
Entonces creo que algunos aquí que son o serían muy bien alumnos en el Instituto Bíblico se llama Allegheny Wesleyan College, ¿sí?
Oh, sí, sí, yo pienso que Kira,
Sí, Kiera,
Sheila,
Sheila,
Lexington.
sí, Lexington, muy bien.
más jóvenes allá.
Sí, más aquí, sí.
Sí.
Are y'all uncomfortable yet? We can keep going. Are you uncomfortable? A little bit? I'm going to start talking about
Mire
you.
ellos, su cara, no sé.
Sí. Entonces, muy bien. Gracias, Joanna. Pueden tomar tu asiento. Can we all give a round of applause for Joanna? She really is an amazing human. I like to think of Joanna as she's a professional friend. I don't know what it is about her, but somehow she has figured out how to balance empathy and honesty and advice and listening. She has a good balance to all of those things, and I just love that about Joanna. And if you want to get to know Joanna a little bit more, there are extra beds in the girls' dorm, and she's going to be there a lot this coming semester. So you sign up for classes, come stay in her dorm, and she's going to make that amazing for you, I'm sure. And if you don't know what empathy might mean, because I just used that word, you can come to English class, comp class, literature class. I'll work on your vocabulary a little bit there. Anyways, let's get back to what I had planned on talking about. Was that making you uncomfortable when Joanna and I were up here talking in Spanish? You couldn't how many of you understood? Maybe I should start there. Like, a few of you are giving me this. Okay, so did that make you uncomfortable, especially if we were calling out your name? You knew we were talking about you. How does that feel? They're just giving me these little smiles. All right, so sometimes it does make us a little bit uncomfortable, right? And the longer it went, the more uncomfortable you became in that situation, probably. It's one thing to greet a person and you not understand what they're saying, but when those conversations continue on, it kind of gets a little bit awkward and you're not sure what to do with yourself. Well, put yourself into a life where that is happening constantly. Imagine how overwhelmed, how lost, and how out of place you would feel in that type of a setting. You can't really speak to the people around you, let alone share your heart. You can't communicate with your neighbor, let alone ask for help in an emergency. What about humor? Everybody's laughing and you're not. That never feels good. And then you wonder, are they laughing about me? And you're not sure because you have no way of figuring out what they're talking about. Believe me, that level of lonely separation while being a part of a big crowd, that level of lonely is very, very deep. And there are roughly 8.3 million people in our world today. So I need 16 helpers. I'm just going to call you out. I'm not even going to give you time. I need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. That row starting with Declan. Can you all come up here? That's 8 of them. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Joanna, come back up. 17. And the girl that's about ready to sit down, don't even bother. All right, that should be 18, right? All right, come up behind the altar here for me. You know, I think I grabbed too many people. 2 of you can volunteer to sit down. I needed 16. They went right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, y'all are confusing me. You're going to make me count again? I'm not a math teacher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Joanna, come back up. Okay. All right. Here we have 16 people. Right? Okay, nobody move, just stay where you are because it's getting confusing. I have 16 people, so each one is going to represent roughly 500,000, okay? Sorry, 500. You know what I'm saying? Half a billion, there we go. I said I'm not a math teacher, right? Each one represents roughly 500 million people because we have roughly 8.3 billion in the world. So each person is how many? 500 million. All right, let's get that in our heads. So about 1/4 of the population of the world speaks English. So you 4, just scoot down that way. You, Declan, and the rest of you just kind of smush down that way. You are not a part of the English-speaking crowd. Now we've really narrowed our number down, haven't we? Because we have just these 4 that actually speak English. And of that, roughly 2 billion people, only 1 in 4 of them, that's another 1/4, are native English speakers. So only one. So Joanna, I'm going to need you to come like clear down here, all right? So only 1/4 of the English speakers are native English speakers. The rest of them have either learned or are learning English. The rest of them don't even know English, but they tell us they probably want to, the majority of them want to know English. You all can go sit down. Thank you. That's all I needed you for right now. Keep that in your head for just a minute. So why would all of those other people want to learn English? There are many reasons. Some of them that they give us are English is the language of business, so trade and commerce. Travel. All of the pilots that land in airports have to be able to speak English because that's what they use in the control towers. Vacation destinations. People who work in motels need to know how to speak English because the English-speaking people are the ones that normally go on vacation. Education, medical field, science, and those types of things, a lot of articles and classes in those are all done in English as well. So all of those things, business, travel, education, are what lead to the lifestyle that the majority of the world views as being successful. And that's what they're looking for. And here in the United States alone, there are 400 plus, more than 400 different languages that are being spoken besides English. That means that these people first spoke a different language and they're learning or have learned English. And it's hard to find a specific number, but somewhere around 1/4 of the population of the United States speak English as their second language. That's 1 in 4 people in the United States probably speak a different language at home than they do when they're shopping at Walmart. But how many of you just started speaking English this morning without even thinking about it? Did anybody wake up and just choose a different language? It's not the way it happened for you, is it? Now, there might be a few here, but the majority of us here tonight woke up, didn't even think about it, just started speaking in English because that is what comes naturally to us. That is what the majority of the world wants. They want to just be able to speak without having to process the words. They want to be able to use English automatically. And you just woke up this morning doing what they want to do. But there's one other thing that I would like to look at, and that is what they need. Not just what they want, but what they need. Those 16 people that we had up front here also still represent the people of the world. And of that 16, about 1/4, the same amount as speak English, though not always the same people, but the same amount, roughly 1/4 of the population, claim to be Christians. Now that would include everything in Christianity, any type of claim. But we here, and those in the holiness movement, we're a very small fraction of the people who claim to be Christian in the world today. And we have the message of the gospel and a holy way of living that all of those 8.3 billion people need. We don't just have what they want, we have what they need as well. And through the life God has blessed us with, He has set most of us in a place where we naturally have obtained what the world wants, and we also have, by His grace and His mercy on our lives, He's placed us in a place and around families or around a church that also provides what the world needs. To emphasize that, we have natural knowledge of what they want and a personal experience with what they need. So what are we going to do with that? One short acronym for you, TESOL. Does anybody know what TESOL stands for? T-E-S-O-L. What's the first T? Teaching English to speakers of other languages. We're going to have to do it again. It's teaching English to speakers of other languages. Yes, God has given us the opportunity to use our natural abilities to fulfill 2 of His greatest commandments. That is, teach all nations and love your neighbor. They've come to us as our neighbors, confused, overwhelmed, lonely, really at the most vulnerable point in their lives. And just by taking some time, we can be the answer to their desire and even fulfill a greater need that each one of these have that have come into our own communities even. It doesn't require a deep understanding of English grammar. These people aren't coming to us wanting to write academic papers on the law of thermodynamics or anything like that. They just want to be able to communicate the same way that you do. They want to be able to talk to their friends and make friends the same way that you talk to your friends and you make friends every day. They just need what you already naturally have. And then you think about taking this natural skill and a heart of God's love and taking that overseas possibly. And the possibilities there are endless. They may be in their culture there, where they're a little bit more comfortable. You might stand out in the crowd there, but that might be the problem. Their comfort in their culture might be the problem. And maybe they won't come to church, but you can offer an open door through TESOL, or Teaching English, and a TESOL ministry. Or maybe English is the open door. There are still many places in many countries that you cannot get into by saying, I am a missionary on your visa, but you can get in very easily by saying, I am an English teacher. When I started this journey myself, and the Lord was leading me in this direction of studying TESOL, I said, Lord, I don't know what you want to do with this, but I'm sure it's going to be an adventure. And I said yes to that. And while that adventure still isn't over, I'm sure of it, the time I spent teaching in a foreign country, those days are days I wouldn't trade for anything, any success, quote unquote, that the world might try to offer. So that's why we are thrilled to be offering a brand new track in the missions department at Allegheny Wesleyan College that will focus on TESOL. What does that mean? Teaching English to speakers of other languages. You all see these TESOL flyers around, and I want to make sure you know what that means. But yes, we're able to offer a track within the missions department. And what we will be doing is we're going to learn strategies for teaching, how to use English as a ministry in your local community or abroad, ways and when to incorporate the gospel, how to understand and teach in other cultures, and even discuss how simply telling them to smile will help them pronounce certain vowels properly. And believe me, it works. So I would challenge you to just pause and consider the opportunity. Maybe take a missions trip, experience living in a culture where you're the one that's lost and confused, and let God open your eyes to the needs of your neighbors and the ability that He has given you to provide love and support in their lives, and experience the adventure that He has waiting for you. And if it involves TESOL in any way, I would love to walk that road with you, and we would be your biggest cheerleaders as you go and make a difference for God in the lives of the families of the world. And if you do come to AWC, I just want to tell you one thing. Joanna and I will not go around talking in Spanish all of the time, except if we're gossiping about you. Thank you.
Well, I don't know how to follow that, but I'm grateful for the opportunity that I'm going to have this fall to enroll in the TESOL program. And it's something I've been interested in. I'm thankful that God's opened that door and how He's using AWC to open ministry opportunities for me. I'm so thankful for how God's led and guided this summer as we've traveled. And this next song we're going to sing talks about the Lord standing by us. And I'm thankful that God meets us wherever we are. It could be clear across the country in a PR van. God met with me in my devotions, or just different places. God meets with us right where we're at, and I'm so thankful that He speaks words of help and cheer like this song says into our hearts. I'm just so thankful that wherever you're at, whatever we're going through, God is faithful and He meets us right where we're at.
All was changed when He drew near. When I met with storm and trial, and my heart was filled with fear. When there was no one
walked away. When it seemed my life was useless and I found it hard to pray, then the Lord Himself stood by me, and I had no cause to fear. Yes, the Lord Himself stood by me. All was changed, really changed. All was changed when He drew near. When my earthly friends forsook me and they all misunderstood, when my works they took for evil, though I meant them all for good, when I walked the veil of sorrow and my heart was aching sore, when I faced a dark tomorrow with no ray of hope before, then the Lord Himself stood by me, and I had no cause to fear. Yes, the Lord Himself stood by me. All was changed, really changed. All was changed when He drew near. Yes, the Lord Himself stood by me. All was changed when He drew near.
Thank the Lord. Aren't you glad that God is always there to stand by you, to draw close to you whenever you need Him? Praise the Lord. Well, I was not here yesterday morning for Brother Troyer's little talk, I guess, about getting a free shirt, but I want to jump aboard and support him in that. So, who has been to College Summer Days? Please stand. If you've been to College Summer Days, please stand up. All righty. So, is it Blaine? All right, you're going to come up front. And Isaiah Booth, come up front. And whichever Troyer girl you are, just come up front, please. And I want you to think of a highlight of College Summer Days, all right? Think of a highlight of College Summer Days. And then you're going to share it in the mic, right? Think of a highlight. All right. We have everyone else may be seated. Next week, we have a highlight of the summer, or highlight of an event of the college, and which is just one of our highlights. At AWC, we have several highlights. We won't go there. Not going to talk about Duck Day, but we're going to talk about College Summer Days. And College Summer Days takes place next week. The dates for that are July 15th through 17th, and there is a flyer on the back table. And the theme for this is AI. And I think this is awesome because this is fitting right where we're at in today's world. But we're not talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about authentic integrity. And Reverend Devin Gray is the speaker for this event, and I'm excited to see how he's going to incorporate the theme into his messages. And I'm excited to see what God has for us there. And I was spending some time praying about this event yesterday. And I know as a young person, we think about all the activities, the sports, the teams, the winning, the cheering, cardboard boats, all of that. And that's a lot of fun. But more importantly than that, it's a place where you can come and to focus on God. And we have different services throughout the events. And don't worry, you will get your share of activities, trust me. And it may get to the point where you are just done with activities, but there's more to come. But we are really looking forward to this event, and I've been getting emails of people pre-registering for this event, and this is taking place next
week, July 15 through 17, and we want to see every single one of you young people across this congregation next week, just to continue on, go right from youth camp right into another youth event, ages 12 to recent graduates at this event, completely free, lodging, meals, everything, and we want to see you there. We have some great things planned next week, and I'm looking forward to it, and trust you are too. We have some highlights. You have to step up.
For me, hanging out with friends and making new friends is definitely the fun part.
Hanging out with friends, making new friends. All right, this is in continuation with Brother Troyer, and they get their free shirts, so we're continuing on what he's doing, which I highly support of. If that's the wrong size, you can change it and get another. All right, come on, Blaine.
My favorite part was the boat race.
The boat race. Building it or getting in it?
Getting in it.
Getting in it. Did you sink?
No. What? Yes.
You did sink. Don't get on his team. All righty. Isaiah, what's the highlight?
One of my favorite parts is the help that I got in the services and the fellowship with all the people, and we had to memorize lots of scriptures to get more points, and that was fun.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. And young people, we want to see you there. If you have not come, please come. It's a great event, and it's a wonderful time, and it's one of my favorite events throughout the summer, and we hope to see you there at that event. Immediately following the evening service tonight, after the altar call and everything, once again, as Brother Gray said, they're not going to cut the service short or anything. They're going to make sure there's time for activities following the end of everything, service and altar call. We are having an afterglow, glow-in-the-dark volleyball over in the ball field, the school park, the school lot over there, and volleyball is open to 12 years old and up. So if you're out of the youth age, you're welcome to come. If you're still in the youth age, but on the older side of the youth age, you're welcome to come. And then for the youth age specifically, 12 through 19, we will have a snack for you all for those ages, but volleyball is for all ages. All right, well, thank you so much for coming to the AWC pre-service. You have a few minutes of interlude, and then we'll go into the main service. You are dismissed.